Okay, why don't we go ahead and get started? We're 4 minutes
hmm
past the hour. So everybody, thank you very much for joining us. Happy holidays. We're in the middle of December, so a lot of scheduling conflicts and other events going on. So thank you very much for making the time to join Shai and myself of with episode two. Remember, there's going to be three of these workshops. We did last week, episode one with lead generator, and today is going to be the lead sense. So let's walk through the agenda real quick. So we're going to do the typical introductions for the new folks that are on the call with us, and then we're going to do a quick recap of last week's lead generator AI agent for those that either missed the call or may have dropped off prior to the call ending. And then we're going to talk about what the new problem is, and then introduce you guys to the AI agent in MindStudio that was developed called LeadSense. We'll walk through the architecture diagram of the LeadSense AI agent, kind of give you guys a high level overview of that. And then we're going to go ahead and demo that agent. After that, we'll finish up with the business impacts and then some of the key takeaways. And with that said, start with the introduction. So my name is Sandakan Stage. Most folks call me Stage or Sando. I've been in the tech space for about 20 plus years at this point in a number of different roles, with the last 7 years in management consulting. So I started my AI global management consulting practice called StageX, a number of different disciplines with my background, but our niche right now is really focusing on being a citizen developer, business architect, and strategist. So really helping clients with just strategy around AI implementation, AI adoption, and developing AI agents. I am a PMP certified individual. I did get a AI certification through the University of Denver. I am a level three AI agent certified developer for MindStudio, and also an officially recognized partner of MindStudio. And that's me at a high level. Shai?
Thank you, Tiger. I'm Shai Bar from IT team. I have been a partner from May with MindStudio, also a level 3 developer, and I'm doing mainly architect of AI and trainings, as you see here with the workshop that we're doing. And I have customers all over the world, and we build a solution together, real solutions. And that's what we're trying to do here. Continue.
All right. Thank you, Shai. Okay, guys. So last week, we solved our lead generation bottleneck issue that we were talking about, but in a modern way, right? It was the lead generator agent that was developed, which essentially automated the entire top of funnel list building workflow, right? And the reality is that marketing teams or any of us, we don't really struggle with generating leads, right? The struggle actually comes with finding the right leads quickly and consistently. And the lead generator agent eliminated the manual research, the filtering process, and enrichment work that slows teams down, right? So when you think about the lead generator, uh, what it delivered was a fully automated engine for building clean, enriched ICP leads. And how it worked, it essentially captured those ICP criteria and used them to drive targeted Apollo searches. And so what we delivered was an automated end-to-end ICP list, right? The agent pulled structured data from Apollo. It enriched every record automatically. And then the agent removed those duplicates. It validated the contacts and it produced clean data sets ready for activation. The agent essentially saved marketers or anyone actually using the agent hours of repetitive, SDR style research every week. And why this agent matters is that teams now get to walk away with a reliable engine that builds accurate ICP lists in minutes instead of hours. essentially creating a stronger, more consistent pipeline for each of us. And the impact, an end-to-end automation of top of funnel list generation and removing that bottleneck of the manual research, basically freeing all of us for higher value work. Anybody have any questions with this particular, with the lead generator in general from last week's presentation before I move forward?
No question yet.
No questions?
No.
Okay. All right then. So with that said, this week, right? Episode number 2, we're tackling now what happens after you generate those leads. Essentially, this is where the revenue actually tends to get lost, right? And here's the irony. Most companies have finally figured out how to generate those leads at scale. That's not really the issue, right? They're doing it via LinkedIn ads, content marketing, webinars, conferences, cold outreach, whatever it might be. These leads are coming in, but then nothing happens. Or worse, the wrong thing ends up happening, right? Because generating leads was never really the hard part. It was knowing which ones to actually spend your time on. And that's where the gap is, right? So let me paint a picture for you guys. It's Monday morning. Your SDR gets a list of 50 leads from last week's webinar. And what do? Well, they start Googling, they check LinkedIn, they look at the company's website, they try to figure out, is this a director or are they a coordinator? Is this a $10 million company? Is it a $500 million company? Do they even have any budget, right? And here's the thing. Every rep does this differently, right? One rep thinks that the VP of marketing at a tech company is the perfect candidate. And then another rep thinks that the director of a 500 person company is even better. There's really no standard, right? So what happens? Uh, the hot leads, the ones that are actually a good fit, well, they sit in a queue while someone else wastes time qualifying leads that weren't ever going to go anywhere, right? And so by the time your rep gets to the good ones, 48 hours have passed. And we all know that in B2B, 48 hours might as well be 48 days. And most likely, your competitor already contacted these leads. And here's the thing. Most companies try to fix this with lead scoring. And I'm not saying that traditional scoring is useless. It's not, right? If someone opens up 10 emails and downloads 3 white papers, yeah, they're engaged, but engaged doesn't mean qualified. I've seen leads with 90-point scores that turned out to be consultants just doing research for a client, right? And I've also seen 30-point scores where the CFO that actually has budget that's actually ready to buy, but because he's not clicking on the email marketing campaigns, no one's looking at him. So technically the scores are correct based on the activity, but they were contextually useless. So let's talk about what this actually costs you, right? If your team is spending 15 minutes manually qualifying each of those leads, and you get 200 leads a month, that's 50 hours of rep time, every month. 50 hours that could be spent talking to qualified leads. And instead, it's spent on Google, spent on LinkedIn, just trying to figure out if someone's even a fit. And that's assuming your team's actually qualifying every lead, because most don't, right? They pick the ones that look good, and they ignore the rest. So Shai and I asked ourselves, what if we could automate the qualification layer, the part of the funnel where most revenue actually leaks? What if every lead got evaluated the same way a senior sales rep with 20 years of experience would evaluate them, but in minutes this time versus hours? And that's what LeadSense does, right? LeadSense automates 3 things that used to take hours. The first thing is it runs deep research across the person, the company, and their technology. The second thing is it scores every lead against your specific ICP criteria, not some generic model. And finally, it does this consistently for every single lead, every single time. And the result, you now know who's worth your time before sales ever even picks up the phone. There's no more guesswork. There's no more wasted calls, just prioritized vetted leads. So LeadSense. let's introduce this one to you guys properly, right? This is an AI qualification engine. It's not a lead generation tool. It's not a CRM replacement. It's an intelligence layer that sits between your sources and your sales team. Its job is simple, right? It takes a raw lead and tells you if it's worth pursuing. And it does it with research grade precision. Now, when I say research grade precision, I don't mean it gives you a score and a check mark. I mean, it does what a human analyst would do if you gave them unlimited time to do this, right? It goes out and it researches the person, it researches the company, it analyzes their tech stack, it looks at their growth signals, their hiring patterns, intent data, organizational maturity. Then it synthesizes all of that into a single decision. Is this person a fit for what we sell? Not are they engaged, are they a fit? Okay. And here's what's important. This works with whatever you're already using. So whether you're using Salesforce, HubSpot, Pipedrive, Marketo, or in our demo using Google Sheets, essentially a lead comes in from anywhere, whether it's a webinar, a LinkedIn campaign, or even a form that gets filled out. It doesn't really matter, right? LeadSense picks up and runs an analysis, and then the output is a complete qualification report back to your system. So now marketing gets immediate feedback on lead quality. Sales gets vetted, prioritized leads, and everyone looks at the same data. So what does all of this actually mean for you? It means that you stop wasting time on leads that were never going to close. You stop having arguments between marketing and sales about lead quality, and you stop losing hot leads because someone had to manually qualify 200 other leads first. It's not about working harder, right? It's about working on the right leads. Now, I know some of you guys are thinking, okay, this sounds great, but how does it actually work? Good, fair question. All right, so let me show you the architecture first before we dive into the demo. Okay, so this is the workflow architecture diagram, but trust me, this is a simplified version, right? The workflow behind the scenes is truly comprehensive and robust. But again, for you guys, it's just a matter of running the agent. Simple. So the lead sense is going to work in two stages, no pun intended with my last name. But stage number one is it prepares a lead for deep ICP, right? So it's the research and qualification piece. This is where we fetch your ICP criteria and prepare the leads for analysis. Stage number two is at the bottom there, right? It's that multi-layer ICP enrichment and scoring piece. This is where the heavy lifting happens, the actual research and evaluation. So essentially think of stage one as setting up the operation, and stage two is executing it. So let's start with stage one. Let's start at the beginning, right? When you run LeadSense, when you run the agent, the first thing it does is it will fetch your ICP criteria from your source, in our case, Google Sheet. And again, remember, this is your definition of an ideal customer, right? The company size, the industry, the tech stack requirements, the job titles, whatever you defined, right? The agent looks looks at it and it knows exactly, what does essentially like, what does done look like? What does good look like in this point? And then next, it normalizes the incoming leads. It cleans up the data, it standardizes the formats, and then it generates research queries for each of those leads. Okay. These queries are hyper specific. So don't tell me about John Smith, but more like what technology stack does John Smith's company use? What are their growth signals? What are their organizational maturity around AI adoption? And then it triggers the research ICP sub workflow. And here's the key. It runs these in parallel. So for example, if you're running 13 leads, it's not processing them one by one. It's going to process them simultaneously. And that's why 13 leads will only take you 10 minutes versus 2 hours. And then stage two, think of this as layers to a cake, right? This is where it gets interesting. The research ICP sub workflow runs each lead through 4 intelligent layers. And so let me walk you through each of those layers, right? The first one is the persona intelligence. This layer analyzes the person, right? What's the role? What do they value? What themes show up in their content? What's their activity level online? What pain points are they signaling? For example, if someone, as a VP of marketing, who's been posting about lead quality issues on LinkedIn for the past, let's say, 6 months, that's a signal. They're not just a title, right? There's someone actively feeling the pain that you solve. Layer two, that's the company intelligence layer, right? This pulls the industry data, the company size, headquarter location, their tech stack, operating context. It's basically, is this a 50-person startup here in Denver, Colorado? Or is it a 5,000 person enterprise in Singapore? Are they using modern tools or legacy systems? And are they in a regulated industry? All of this matters. Now we move into layer three, which is that AI and tech maturity layer, right? This one's very critical. If you're selling anything related to automation, AI, or digital transformation, the agent's going to evaluate their technology adoption signals. So, are they hiring data scientists? Do they have APIs integrated? Are they showing automation readiness? Or are they still in the, well, we're thinking about maybe trying AI someday phase? Because the truth is, if you're selling AI solutions to a company that's still figuring out Excel, then you're going to have a very, very long sales cycle, or not a sales cycle at all. And then that final layer, which is the ICP scoring layer, right? This is where it all comes together. The agent takes everything from the first three layers and applies your five-pillar ICP framework, basically to generate a unified score and a decision tag. And the decision tag is simple: hot, warm, or cold. Hot means call this person today. Warm means this is a good fit, but timing might not be perfect. And cold just means save your energy for someone else. And you get an ICP match percentage, right? Like this is 87% fit. So you know exactly where they stand. Okay. Once all of these layers are complete, the agent updates your Google Sheet or whatever source you're using with the enriched data. It generates a full qualification report, and then you're done. Every lead now has a complete profile: who they are, why they matter, and whether they're worth pursuing. Okay. So let me make this real for you guys with actual numbers, right? Like this morning, for example, I ran 13 leads through the system. The processing time was less than about 10 minutes. It only cost me $2.41, right? And to do that level of research manually, where you're analyzing personas, pulling company data, evaluating tech stacks, synthesizing it all, that would take a human analyst, I don't know, around 30 minutes or so per lead. That's 6.5 hours for 13 leads. Lead Sense did this in 10 minutes for $2.40. So before we move into the demo, I threw a lot at you guys. Anybody have any questions with Lead Sense based on what I said?
No question yet. You can demo it.
Going once, going twice. Everybody
Hit the
wants to see
road.
the demo, right? They want to see the hit
Yeah.
the road. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, guys. All right. So now you guys seen the problem that we've acknowledged, right? You've seen what LeadSense does, at least conceptually, and we just walked through the architecture diagram, right? So remember how we talked about inconsistent scoring causing good leads to get ignored and bad leads to slip through? We're about to show you guys how LeadSense fixes that automatically. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to take raw leads, just names, titles, companies, emails, and run it through LeadSense. And in under 5 minutes, you're going to see that this list transforms into a fully enriched, validated, and ranked ICP profile list. Now, as we go through this, here's what I want you guys to pay attention to. First, watch how much data gets pulled in that you would never have time to research manually. Second, notice the consistency. Every lead gets the same depth of analysis. And finally, and this one is important, watch how the hot, warm, cold classifications actually make sense when you see the full context. because that's the whole point, right? It's not just a score that we're giving you, but a score you can actually trust. So let's do this. Let's switch over here. First thing is first. Let's walk back to when we talked about the lead generator. If you guys recall, when you log into MindStudio, we have a number of different things that will benefit you, everything from your own workspace to ready to use agents, templates, and then the community. Within the community, you guys are going to notice here, and you'll have to scroll to the bottom, by the way, but you're going to notice here that last week's lead generator AI agent is now ready for you guys and available, right? Simply click on it, and now you can make a copy. And the neat thing here, Shai did an amazing job here making it really easy for you guys. With his talent, he put this together, this instructional video that you guys can watch after you guys watch our recording. But you can watch this to learn about how this agent actually runs. So this is available to you now in MindStudio. Again, just make a copy of that, and it's now available in your environment. And once we get done with our presentation, we're going to go ahead and add our lead sense agent to you guys as well, or to this community as well for you guys. Okay, so we'll put it down here at the bottom, right next to sales. You guys will see lead sense made available to you guys. Now, just a quick recap before we run this agent. Remember that the lead generator agent had a number of different workflows that it was working through when you click the publish button to run it. But once you publish it, the first thing that you're going to be greeted with, if you recall, is you're defining your ICP form. And so the idea here was go ahead and put in the titles that you're searching for, the location that you're searching for, and then the run mode, which is either continue scan because you want to continue the run that you've done previously, or do a full rescan if you're starting from scratch. And remember, because it's using Apollo, it's going through by pages. So the continue scan is going to go to the next available page, search your contacts based on your criteria, and pull that information in. Once you've run this, it's going to then give you this option of, hey, here's what we ran. Notice here it says number 2 of 198 pages, right? So here's the search, and I didn't do anything with this just yet because I wanted you guys to see this, that after it does the run, you simply click on that next button, and now it's going to say, hey, do you want more or are you done? And if you say, no, I'm done, you're good to go. But if you say yes, then you're going to notice that what happens is it ends up pushing through the workflow again and doing the same thing for you until it has another list for you that it will push into whatever source you're using, whether it's a Google Sheet or HubSpot, whatever it might be. And so you guys can see here, the neat thing about this is, again, these are all some of the leads that I've been running. And you can see here the date that I've been running. And then down here, you can see this morning's run. Whoops, going too fast. And so that's the lead generator agent. Shai, did I miss anything before we move over to lead sense?
No, we are cool.
Perfect.
But this is important to mention again. I don't want the people here to miss it. We are working on this ICP list in the new AI agent. So the first one is
Yes.
to create this list. This is what Sandokan said. And then we are going to pull from this list. So now Sandokan will show you how we do it.
Yeah, great call out. So the idea is that lead generator is going to say, okay, here's really good qualified leads. After we've done our analysis, our deduplication, our research, here you go. Now lead sense is going to say, okay, I'm going to now take the leads that lead generator put in ICP and do the evaluation, right? And so before we even go into it, actually, I'll go into it here in a second. Let's just go ahead and run this, and then I'll come back to the sheet right here. So similar to the lead sense, right? You have this lead sense AI agent, and it looks similar to the lead generator, but you can see it's not as complex. There's two workflows for this particular agent. And of course, whatever's going on now during the demo never fails, right? Let's do this. I might have to, let me close this out.
Refresh.
Let me go back to here. Let me go to my workspace, and this will give you guys a good chance to be able to see some cool things. So if I come back to here, I'm going to come into my demo agent folder. And I'm going to come into my lead sense. I'm going to go ahead and run that again. Bring that guy over here. And okay, so again, two workflows. You can see that sub workflow is a bit more complex than the main workflow, but in this instance, I'm just going to go ahead and run this. And again, when I run this, it's going to fetch the information from the Google Sheet where my ICP leads currently reside, and it's going to go through its process of vetting and analyzing and creating the score, right? So let's run this. And as I run this agent, I'm going to go ahead and publish it. Now you can see that it's going to work. And while it's going to work, I'm going to come back over here so you guys can see that in the debugger, kind of what it's doing in a bit. So now you can see here a number of different things happening simultaneously.
Yeah, and pay
And so what,
attention that, sorry, Sandokan, pay attention that Sandokan uh, fetched the ICP tab A1 to X14, meaning he pulled 14 rows from this Google Sheet. And maybe Sandokan will show you how you can set this up, because if you have hundreds and you don't want it to run all these hundreds of rows, then you can define it here, and it'll show you in a second.
yep. Okay, so while this is running, let me show you kind of what well, let's go back to the actual Google Sheet. Okay, so recall that it's pulling information from here, and what it's going to do is it's going to update your ICP scores, right? This is my new tab that's working with LeadSense. And before we even get into the details, let me walk you through kind of what this sheet is capturing, right? A lot of different metadata that's included in here, everything from the time to the source it's pulling from, the person's ID, all the way to the first name. But here's the cool part, right? Now it's giving a score for the company, right? And this is a score between 0 and 100. You can see it here in the first column, right? The email address, their LinkedIn URL, right? So you can see here different scores that it's giving based on each of those individuals. And it's analyzing this information. And this is just basic metadata, right? So this is one way that you can look at these leads being qualified and being scored, right? Pretty neat, pretty clean. But the really cool part is when you come over here to the, let's call it a scorecard, right? This is the generated report that comes out that gives you at a quick glance, hey, here, based off of our run, are the number of hot leads. You can filter by them, warm leads, or any cold leads, right? And these little cards are really neat. There's a couple of different things happening here when you look at these cards. Person's name and their title. It's giving them a total score from 0 to 100, right? It's also giving you different metadata points, industry, the size, tech, and a quick summary of this individual. And here's a cool thing, right? If I scroll down a little bit just to give a little bit more space, I can view the evidence, right? So what are the strengths over here? What are some of the risks to take into consideration, right? What are some of the fit reasons for this person that you should reach out? And what are some of the non-fit reasons? I can email them directly. I can even go to their LinkedIn profile if I want to do a quick email. So if I clicked on this LinkedIn profile here, it takes me right to this individual. I can review their analysis. And if you guys are using like one of the other agents that we can build in MindStudio, like a TLDR, I can quickly summarize this person's profile and I can figure out what I need and then send them an email all within seconds. Right. And so as I scroll through here, whoops, I filtered everything. So let's just go back to all. You can see the number of different warm, hot, and cold leads that are already available at a quick glance. And I can also see on my run the average ICP score of my leads. So it really gives me an idea of, how well am I doing in terms of my campaigns, pursuing my leads. So let me pause there real quick. Anybody have any questions with what we've covered up to this point?
No questions in the chat.
I got a question.
Go ahead, please, Doug.
And this is incredible. It's just amazing, you
Thanks.
guys. Just love the
Thanks.
stuff you guys do. I'm in
Thank
the
you.
middle of a big marketing campaign for some software I've developed, and I was just
Mhm.
wondering if you had a particular sector in mind or a group of sectors in mind when you started to put this stuff together. Because right now I'm thinking I fall out of these with what my marketing plan is. But I'm wondering if you guys just had if there was a vision for a group of target sectors that you were going to use this for.
Yes, there was because Sandokan and me are two businesses that are trying to promote AI agent implementation, and
Hmm.
we did focused on AI. But if there will be time, we can demonstrate how you can change the prompt and adjust it to your needs, meaning your product, what you're selling, Doug.
Hmm.
Because if you developed a solution and you want to focus on that, then you'll have to adjust the prompts to get better results. Okay,
Yep.
it's a key on MindStudio and in AI in general. The
Yeah.
better you define the prompt in the terms of prompt engineering and context engineering, you get better results, real results. So we can demonstrate it if there'll be time. If no, we can do a session one-on-one, and
Yep.
you'll have the AI agent and you can adjust it.
The follow-up question is that targeting can sometimes be a bit tricky. And
Mhm.
I could see this fitting so many different implementations depending on sectors and things like that. But every now and then you're going to come across a sector that stands alone and by itself. And I can't wait to see what the prompts might do once they've been modified. Um, I mean, I know how to reach a lot of people that I think I need to reach, but for some reason, I think I need much more than that. I need to find out, you know, I'm doing emailings right now that I know that are just going into the abyss. I just know that they're going into the abyss right now. And
Mhm.
part of the reason is because of the sector. It's got a traditionally difficult set of parameters to it. And I'm a lot of things. A good marketer isn't one of them. Let's just put it that way, which is why I'm here with you guys today, right? And
Mhm.
I don't know. This is just a great thing. I can't wait to talk further about it. And I can't wait to see session three because that's really what I'm interested in. That's going to start breaking down some of these barriers that I perceive that are existing in my challenges. So thank you guys for doing
Yeah.
this. Is awesome, man. Just way
No,
awesome.
Thank you, Doug. Thank
appreciate the question. And I think Shai hit the nail on the head. And with MindStudio agents, they are very flexible, right?
Yep.
And it does come down to how do you write the prompt? And also, in your case, knowing that you got to figure out kind of what is the ICP, what is the specific criteria that you're needing to look for when you're building this out. It's probably best to try it a little bit at a time and testing it as you're
Mm,
running it, right? Versus throwing everything at the kitchen sink. Because,
yeah.
Shai made a good point that in our industry, we're focused on, you know, uh, AI agents, automating digital transformation for companies that want to migrate over to using AI agents. And so that's kind of where our focus was. But the adjustments, it's totally flexible. But this Shai is a great mentor, and I've learned a lot from him. And one of the things he
Thanks,
always
brother.
teaches me, one of the things he always teaches me is, think about it like Legos, right? So yes, we can reconfigure this to do what you want it to do. But I think your homework assignment is really going to be at the end of the day, what are going to be the important factors that you need to take into consideration? What's the criteria that you need? Like at the end of the day, what's going to stand the test of time for you in this industry that you're talking about that might be a bit more complex for generating
Yeah.
leads, right? Because if you throw everything in the kitchen sink, it's just going to be a lot of noise, right? Where if you can
Right.
scale it back and really say, okay, at the end of the day, there's 50 different things that would be great, but I'm going to drop it down to these top things. These top 10 things will work every single time. Sorry, I didn't mean to raise my hand.
I will just leave you with this. The sector that I'm working in is technology adverse.
Hmm.
They don't have a lot of money,
Hmm.
and they have their it's the education sector. They don't like to
Mhm.
buy things. They don't trust technology. They certainly don't trust AI, and they don't have a lot of experience with it. So I don't know,
I've been there.
the,
I know.
the only reason I picked that is because after being an engineer for so long on Wall Street, that's what I did. I became a public school teacher for 18 years. And I
Wow.
saw some
Hmm.
of the things that they needed to do. And now I'm
Yeah.
confronted with having to go to battle with the people I battled with while I was a teacher. So it's going to be interesting to talk with
Yeah.
you guys about that. So,
Education is definitely a tough sector. Government
whoa,
industry is definitely a tough sector. In my
yeah,
20 years, those are two categories where it is one, painfully slow, number of different red tapes I have to go through, uh, bureaucracy, whatever it might be. And I think that that makes it easier too, right? Like if you take that layers to a cake approach or the Legos approach of slowly easing them in,
yeah,
or even just yourself, it takes time because the reality is this is all still new. AI has
yep,
been around since the 40s or maybe even earlier, but I feel like since 2000, what, 22? Yeah, we just
yep.
Yeah.
warp speed
Mhm.
ahead, and it's like so overwhelming. So I think a lot of clients are very nervous about it. So
I'm glad you guys are here because I'm still waking up every day asking myself, is this the morning I quit? So
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure a lot of us have been through that. And,
For
do I
sure,
quit?
for
Yeah.
sure,
So,
for
All
sure.
right, let me see if
all right.
this guy produced. Nope, it's still working. So while it's still doing its thing.
That's a
But
good
at the
thing.
end, so I'm glad I ran this one earlier this morning so you guys can actually see the output. But there's a number of things that are going to come into place in terms of how long this runs too. It really depends on the lead quality, the number of leads that you're pushing through. In my case, I ran, I think, the whole list.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, it's very dynamic, it's very interactive, and it's truly vetted information for you that you can take to the bank, right? If we need to make any adjustments, there is going to be flexibility for this particular agent. Um,
Do you guys have a
is there
time
another
frame
question?
about how you'll be able to score this? I mean, it's new, right? And I'm sure you're running this, you're loading your
Mhm.
spreadsheets and things like this. But a year from now, you're going to be able to look back and find out and put a matrix on how this worked out for you.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
what was
And
the
before
success
one
rate?
year, yeah,
Yeah, about a
before
year.
1 year, yeah, yeah, I'll tell you because we're doing it with customers now. I have one
Mm,
customer that's using that, and when you'll see on the next workshop, I don't want to do a spoiler here, but you see that we create DMs and messages that are really directed to this person with his
uh,
problem, pain points. And I do get better. It's like an A/B test. And I do
mm,
get better results because people see it's a real email. It's not a
yep,
generic spray and pray email that it says, "Oh, it's another spam." I receive hundreds of emails every day because I'm on the AI radar. They send me a
mm.
lot of email. I don't read any of them. But
I
if
know.
someone reach out and send you something that's direct, touching your pain, there is more. It's not definitely, but there is more success rate that it will convert to someone that will talk to you. And
Shay,
I see it in example.
after 400 emails, I finally got a response from a woman whose contact information I got from LinkedIn. She said, "Why are you sending stuff to my private email address?" She posted her email address on LinkedIn, right? And she wants to know why I'm using it. So it's just like, hello.
All right, guys, we'll let that agent run in the background. Let me finish up our last two slides just to make sure that we have enough time for additional Q&A, and then we'll get back into this agent. Everybody see my screen?
Those are beautiful, man. It's just so
Okay.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
All right.
amazing.
So you guys just saw how the agent worked, right? You guys saw the raw leads and how it created, qualified those profiles, essentially in minutes. But we mentioned this is going to be something that probably runs under 10 minutes. But again, better than hours, right? So let's talk about what that actually means for your business, right? Because this isn't just about saving time. It changes how every part of your go-to-market operates, right? When you stop wasting time on the wrong leads, everything else changes, right? And here's what that looks like across your organization. So let's start with sales, right? Your reps are drowning in leads, trying to figure out which ones are worth their time. And with lead sense, reps get to save 32% of their time by identifying poor fit prospects early. So before they waste hours researching, calling, and chasing someone uh, who is never going to buy, that's a small number, right? If your SDR is spending 40 hours a week on qualification, then that's 13 hours back every single week. That's 13 hours that they get to spend actually talking to qualified buyers. Now, what about marketing? You're spending money on campaigns, driving leads, and then crickets, right? Or worse, sales comes back and says, hey, these leads are garbage. But with AI-driven lead scoring, you get immediate feedback, right? You see which campaigns are driving high fit leads in real time, not 3 months later when sales is like, finally follows up. But the data shows that AI-driven scores actually improves by an accuracy of like 40% over your traditional methods. That means you're not just generating more leads, you're generating better leads. And then when you think about RevOps, this is where the magic happens, right? Because the biggest problem is that most organizations, it's not about their sales team or their marketing team. It's the gap between the two teams, right? When sales and marketing are aligned, when they agree on what qualified means, then the win rate goes up by about 38%. And why? Because marketing is now generating leads that sales actually want to work. And sales isn't wasting time complaining about lead quality. And then finally, you got leadership, right? Uh, Leadership, what they care about is, are we winning or are we losing to our competitors? Efficient qualification isn't just about saving time. It's about making sure that you prioritize the right leads first before your competitors do, right? So let's tie all of this together. Essentially, sales, they get more time and better conversion rates. Marketing, they get immediate feedback and they prove their ROI. And RevOps, they eliminate the blame game that drives and drives alignment, right? And then leadership, they win more deals because you're faster and smarter than your competitor is. And that's the business impact of LeadSense. So let me go through the key takeaways, and then we'll go into the Q&A. We'll make this quick. All right. So here are the takeaways that I want you guys to remember from this presentation, and there's only 4 of them, right? The first one is the real risk isn't low pipeline, it's low precision, right? I can't tell you how many times I've heard we need more leads. And sure, sometimes you do, but more often you have plenty of leads, right? The problem is that half of them aren't a fit, and no amount of volume fixes a conversion problem. If half your leads aren't qualified, you're not going to suddenly close more deals, right? You're just going to burn out your entire sales team faster. So focus on precision first, then you scale. The second takeaway is that qualification is now a strategic differentiator, not just an ops task, right? For years, lead qualification was something you handed to your most junior person. Here, call through this list and see who's interested. But the teams that are winning today, they've turned qualification into a competitive advantage. They're using AI, intent data, and enrichment, everything that we talked about today, to know who's a fit before their competitors do. The teams that align their scoring to real buyer signals, they outperform teams using static or inconsistent models every time. And this isn't an operational efficiency play anymore, right? It's being strategic. The third takeaway is that LeadSense compresses days of research into minutes. You guys saw it in the demo. What would take a human analyst 30 minutes per lead, researching the person, the company, the tech stack, the maturity signals? LeadSense does all of this in under 10 minutes for those 13 leads. Persona, company context, tech stack, maturity, ICP scoring, all unified in one decision-ready profile. And that's not hype, guys. That's what we built, right? And you guys just watched it. And the final takeaway for you guys here is that this is, and this is the one I want you guys to take back to your guys' teams, is that revenue growth follows the teams who act on high fit leads first. And notice I didn't say act on leads first. I said act on high fit leads first. Speed to lead does matter. We all know that, but speed to the wrong lead is just expensive noise. So what matters is speed to priority, knowing which leads are worth calling today, which ones to nurture, which ones to ignore, and acting on that information before your competitor does. And that's what creates unfair competitive advantage. So, lead sense, it's not magic, right? It's just what happens when you stop guessing and start knowing which leads actually matter to you guys. All right, I've thrown a lot at you guys. I appreciate your patience and the questions as well. So why don't we open it up to questions that you guys might have?
Do you want to show to see if it finished there in the backend?
Yeah, let's do that. Back to here, come back to here. Hopefully it did. Of course, when you're demoing it out sometimes. Ah, ta-da, there we go. So this is what we just ran.
Yeah,
Gives you guys
Doug,
really
pay
quick high
attention
level.
about your question. If Sandokan will open view evidence, then you have a lot of value information inside. It also put it in your Google Sheet, but there is a lot of value information about the strength of this company and person, the risk of his adoption, uh, everything that you need, and you can also expand it. You can take the AI agent and do more research. It will take more time or cost you more money, a few cents. But again, that's what's amazing in what Sandokan and I try to do here. We try to collect as much as information needed for us to decide, do I want to contact this lead? Yes or no? Do I want to invest time with this lead? Yes or no? And then I will contact him through email or through DM in LinkedIn. But Sandokan and I thought about a problem, a real problem that we have. There are many people there that needs AI, but are they ready? Do they
Yeah.
already adopt anything? So it was a real problem. We solved a real problem for our business. It's not an idea. And for me and Sandokan, it's working because now when I outreach people, I know this is someone who's talking about AI, publishing about AI, already adopted some AI tools. So it is relevant. So it's all about reaching the right person here.
Yeah.
And
Any
we
other
did connect
questions?
it to, yeah, no question, but
Yep.
we did connect it to Google Sheet, but you could also export it directly to your CRM. MindStudio support now HubSpot, and it's also working. But if you have it on a Google Sheet, then you can bring it to from Google Sheet to, let's say, Salesforce or whatever. So it's also working. It's a human in the loop mechanism, but it's also a way to bring the information back to your CRM. Any feedbacks, questions?
And remember, guys, there's 3 episodes, right? The first one was let's generate these leads and let's do it intelligently, right? The second lead sense is let's go ahead and qualify those intelligent leads and score them. Next week, we're going to show you how we create those emails for each of these leads.
You guys got to take this on the road. That's all there is to it.
Oh yeah, Shai and I are going to we're gonna get a conference going. We're gonna get on stage and shake each other's hands. You know, he's in Israel. We do fist bumps all the time overseas, but we'll do it for real on
We should
stage.
invent an AI version of TED Talks.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
We are creating avatars. You saw Doug on LinkedIn. I have many avatars
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I'd like to meet a few of them, Shay.
Yeah, my wife is concerned.
I'd be concerned if I were you too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vanessa is
So
asking,
yeah.
Vanessa is asking a question. What if you want to ask the agent about the lead generation process? Does it make sense to add human in the loop block? There is a possibility, Vanessa. Yes. In MindStudio, there is a checkpoint block that you can put variable inside and then talk with the AI about this variable, meaning the information inside. It can be done. It might be useful even. It's a good idea. But here we tried in this AI agent to do a really straightforward flow to populate our Google Sheet because the last AI agent, this is the hammer, we are going to send messages and emails directly to these persons, all of these ICPs that we want to use, the hot one, as Sandokan mentioned, and we want to see it in work. So I don't, we can do another thing. You have this Google Sheet. So Vanessa, you can write another AI agent. I'll give you a task. Write an AI agent that brings those ICP, what Sandokan just created from ICP sense, and do an agent that is generating some insights about any ICPs, and then put a checkpoint block and talk to this AI agent to see if you get any value information. It will be a very good practice for you. But it's a good idea. I love it.
Any other
Anyone
questions?
else?
Okay.
No.
Well, if there's no other questions, I'm happy
I'll
to
put the
hang out a
link.
little bit longer if you guys want. Otherwise, next Wednesday, just before the holiday break, we'll be talking about the final agent. This agent here, Lead Sense, should be hopefully within the week available in the community for you guys to have access to as well.
Mhm.
But otherwise, we look forward to. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, you can always reach out Sandokan and me if you need to adjust the AI agent. We'll share the second one as well. And also, if you have ideas and you want to make an AI agent like Vanessa just mentioned that you need help, we can also help you create this because, again, it's a community and the idea behind it is building together and creating something useful for all of us. We rise together, all of us. This is what we're trying to do here. And I paste the link for the third episode. We want to see you there and you'll see the hammer coming.
Yeah, and by all means, forward the registration link to any of your friends or anyone that you think might take value. We're going to kind of take the same final approach and make sure that we walk through this thoroughly so you guys can see how all these agents connect. So with
Sandokan,
that
do you
said,
want?
guys, yep.
Vanessa asked about what we mentioned in the session. Can you open the AI agent and just demonstrate one of the blocks of the with the prompt? It's
Which agent? You're talking about the lead
yeah,
sense?
yes, and but please make it bigger. I can't see anything.
Yeah, let me. I zoomed out for
Sorry.
the card. Sorry. Thanks.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can zoom in. Let's try it again. Nope, it's not. Why is it not doing it? Let's do this.
The home button, Sandokan, in the button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to come over here to the prompt piece of it, zoom in on the screen itself. So, oops, sorry.
Uh, those two are only, as we mentioned, they are bringing the information. The first one is where you define the first block before it, Sandokan, the fetch Google
Oh,
sheet.
yep.
Here you define the rows, the range that you're bringing. Okay?
There.
Yeah. And the two other blocks, these are the engine. This is preparing for the queries. If you'll open the prompt, Sandokan, please. Yeah, thanks. You have to make it bigger. I can't see. Oh, great. So you see here, go over this. When you have the agent, go over this. You'll see what we've done. You can reverse engineer it. And I really encourage you to do it because everything is inside here with the best practices of prompt engineering, content engineering, and everything is here. So you can copy it and paste it to your ChatGPT and tell him, I want to adjust it for, let's say selling bikes, mountain bikes. Okay, if there is any relevant information that needs adjustment, it will adjust it, copy paste back, and you have this block ready for your mountain bikes. Okay, and oh, please open the next. The next query is not really relevant. Go to the second workflow, please. Yeah. Here the magic happened. You have to enlarge it again. Yeah, I want you to demonstrate one of the, let's say, the persona enrichment. Yeah, this one. Let's open the prompt. I want to mention here something before you scroll down. You see there is a lockdown mode. Lockdown mode says to the AI agent, you have to do exactly what I am telling you to do. No hallucinations. It's something about prompt engineering, telling him to do exactly what we're trying to get here. So you get very good results. If you scroll down, please, you see it bring the Apollo information here in the prompt and go a little bit. I don't see any AI here. It's general here. Think. No. You see, there is information about CMOs. If you go up, please, Sandokan, a little bit, you see? There is an example of CMOs. If I'm not looking for CMOs, then I'll put another persona. If I want to make it very precise, I can make it general. But Sandokan and I, we did try to bring CMOs to these workshops and get them interested on the ZEA agent that they can use. So you see, there is some narrowing here to make it more accurate. Okay? So you can go in each and every generate text block, okay? And just copy the prompt to your ChatGPT or Claude, whatever, and give it few instruction. What are you trying to do here? Okay, and ask him to adjust it, copy it back, and here you have it. You adjust your own AI agent. It's very simple. This is what I like on MindStudio. It's very simple to adjust an AI agent. Vanessa, did we answer your
Yeah.
question here? Okay, thanks.
Guys, we are at the top of the hour, but we're willing to hang out for any additional questions, but do want to be mindful of your schedule as well. So, any other questions?
Can't wait for 3.
Yeah, gonna be
Yeah,
exciting. One more hour next week, guys, before the holiday kicks in. So,
Hey, one
we
last
look
thing.
forward to seeing everyone.
If you guys ran all 3 of these presentations again, I'm sure I'd come back. I'd love to see this
eh,
whole thing from stem to start more than once because there's a
thanks.
lot
We
going
might,
on here. There's a
yeah,
lot going on here.
it will be on MindStudio YouTube channel. First, you can always share it and
Yeah,
review it again. But we'll do something together when we finish everything. We might do something after the holidays. We might do something together to demonstrate all the process at once
yep,
to see how we work in with those three AI agents. It will be more technical. Sandokan and I will try to build something together.
So,
beautiful.
Doug, what you're
Beautiful.
trying to say is if Shai and I host a conference somewhere for everyone to come together, and we demo this live, you'd be first on our registration list.
Take it on the road, man. Let's go. Atlanta, Chicago, London. Let's go.
Hey, ready to do it. I'm ready to do it. So,
There you go.
anybody have any other questions?
No, we're fine. Thank you all for joining. We really appreciate it. Really.
Yeah, thank you so
See you
much,
guys
guys.
soon.
Really appreciate it. Yep. See you next
See you
Wednesday.
soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks, Ando. I'll call you soon.
Yep, Shai. All right, take care. Bye.